Hello, hello. I'm here. It's Friday. I changed the time, pushed it back some, and still 10 minutes late, but I don't know. It's a beautiful, beautiful day outside, but I'm feeling, I don't know what, feelings. So, moving slow. Yep. I'm Lucinda. This is Friday, fun, a little bit slower costume, and some other, not costume, jewelry, live sale. If you don't know me, I ship from Mendocino County in Northern California. I use PayPal to bill, invoice, and pirate ship to ship. Saves you about a third on shipping. I rarely use UPS. This is the last day, as I am up live Thursday, Fridays, of my 2-week build a box. So next week will be week 2. This is the end of week 1. I then start to invoice. I'm going to need to be taking everyone's stuff down to the San Francisco Bay Area with me. And I'm going to be paying full shipping, but I will take a portion of that off of yours because I have to go down on the 25th. There's things to do with my parents' estate that I need to be in the city and dealing with. And also on the 28th of October, that Tuesday when I'm down there, I'm doing a friend selling with friends. And then Friday, the 31st, Halloween, I will have a small sale. So that's not, until the week after next, but I'm just lining it up about invoicing is going to shift to be a little bit later unless you email and say, get it to me right away. Then I'll pack it before I leave, get the label done, and put it at the post office Monday that next week. It's just everything's going to get to be a little bit tight. I'm staring at my calendar and thinking, ooh, everything's going to be tight. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where because I sell on Thursdays and Fridays, and then this week I sell also on Sunday. Lord, I'm going to have to think about this, and I will do a community post letting people know. Maybe I can't do a 2-week build-a-box, or maybe I'm going to be frantically invoicing the night of the 24th, and everyone has to pay on the 25th. I don't know what to do. I'm just now realizing I have this dilemma because of the 2-week build-a-box and the way everything is falling on the calendar. Anyway, so I got one person in here. That's always nice. Thank you. Now I got 2. Cheers. A lot of people go in and out, in and out. So I have, as usual, a lot of stuff. I don't do recaps. I never get to everything. So, A, if you're watching on the replay, you can email me. B, if you're come in late, rewind and drop in the chat an item that didn't sell that you are interested in. Okay? Because I don't do recaps. It's just I never get to all my items. And if I did a recap on everything, I would be bringing, 15 items at a time. And we're not doing that. So this first item is going to start at $23. And thank you for choosing to be here. Let me highlight that. Oop, my banner's misbehaving again. Go figure. It's extra long. $23. This is a vintage sterling silver marcasite ring. It's kind of like a triple band. I mean, it is. It's solid on the back. Then pulled out to be 3. Then just 2. Then the 3. It's a beautiful ring. I'm going to take my price off the screen because it's covering up the whole bottom. There you go. I want it to focus. It has a lot of glitz and glimmer. The 925. Everyone always wants to see that, even though it's basically impossible to see. Is right there. And let's see what size this is. This is a really nice one. I actually wish this was a little bigger because I would be keeping it for myself. The bottom line, boy, I had like 8 people and now I have 1. See, people are just, it's like whatnot. In and out, all over the place. It's, I don't know. It is just a size 7 on the very bottom of the band. So it's a tight 7. Let's call it that. I wouldn't say it's 6 3/4, but I wouldn't quite call it a 7. That is US. And I have no idea what HK is. Hong Kong size? I'm taking a guess. And here is this gorgeous marcasite ring. Again, moving it a little slow. There are no stones missing. This, so just to give you an idea in case you can't see it clearly, I never know. This is flatter and this is raised up. Up, and the middle, like petal is up, and then the bands. Okay. Could be, I know, Al. I have no freaking idea. I just am trying to roll with it. I love this. I really wish this was bigger. Oh well. There you go. So it's going to go over here. Maybe someone will claim it later. Maybe not. Sylvestra? Sylvestra? Do I have that correct? Please let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And I ship from Northern California, Mendocino, California. And I bill through Pirate. No, I don't. I bill through PayPal, and I use Pirate Ship, which saves about 1/3 on shipping. And I do 2-week build-a-boxes unless someone emails me and says, I just want that item, and, I'd like it as soon as you can get it to me. And then I will do that individually. The only reason I do the 2-week is because I have a lot of regular customers, and they build a box, and it saves them on shipping. It also saves me time on invoicing, but I'm not adverse to doing it right away. And how you would bid, you need to send an email to the address on the screen with your YouTube name, which I believe is Sylvestra. I don't know. How come I can't say this? Silverista. Good Lord. There you go. Silverista. Then your real name, shipping address with zip code, and below that, your PayPal billing link. If you don't have PayPal, you can check out as a guest, but I need that by the end of this sale, or that's it. And you just put in the comment the bid. So if you were interested in that ring that started at 23, you would put in 23. Then if someone wanted to come in higher at 25, they would do that. And then you would have to bid higher again if that's what you wanted to do. I hope that helps. Noelle, yes, Silverista. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. Thank you for asking, and thank you for popping in and checking out what I'm doing here. I appreciate that. So as long as we did this, I showed these yesterday, but I'm going to show them again because they match. And if they don't wind up, selling here, they're going to go into my whatnot shows. So these are a starting bid of 20. And Silverista, I will tell you, I don't have a whole lot of competition because I have a lot of subscribers, but there's so many people on Fridays. I have my regulars, but I get a lot of people popping in and out. So here is the back. Tucked up under here is the 925. I got all of this, and I can tell by the earring backs that these are more from the 70s because they're that ruffled back and it's longer with the double indents to make it harder to take the post back off or fall off. These are about 1/2 inch. They too are marcasite with the dropped silver solder balls to add to the design of the marcasite. So I do not test my items, but when I say it's something, I know it's something. And if I don't know, but I believe it is so because I've been doing this for since the late 70s. I will tell you I'm 85 or 90% sure or whatever. And if there's ever a problem, you let me know. But these I bought from a reputable source. And see, they're just tiny, but I think they're gorgeous. And I think they would go really well with the ring. So again, 20. Thank you for looking. Okay, and last, this is going to be a starting bid of, I'm going to do these very inexpensive. They're just little guys. And a little bit fun. 925. And I have to take that off the screen. Sometimes StreamYard does this really long banner, and I don't get it. Woo! Just dropped it. Sorry. It's been an interesting day today for me. There's the 925. I know it's not showing up, and I could do like the whole magnify it with my loop and all that, but that's a pain in the butt. And it takes so much time away from just being able to sell. And then there are these teeny tiny, to me, it's like swirling wind or swirling ocean waves design. Of course, there's 2 of them starting at 16. And they're about 1/2 inch. Once again, maybe a little bit less. $16. I think that's a really good deal for those. If not, then I guess not. Okay. And a Silverista. I do a lot of vintage costume, not just straight. I have a lot of vintage, semi-precious, higher end jewelry, but I've shown it many times and it's not selling. And so it's going to be being listed and sold elsewhere, and that's really a shame. For instance, I have this gorgeous piece of, I believe it's a Navajo dead pawn with the tag brooch from the 50s. It's 180. It's gorgeous. I showed it yesterday. Nobody's interested. I just, like, I have a lot of stuff like that, and I'm just like, well, okay, I'll just keep moving on. I'll just keep moving on. Somebody somewhere, wants it, just not in YouTube. And times are tough right now. Times are really tough. So I get that. This is going to start at 24. I have, it's the, I want to say it's Damascene. Yep, that too. Well, the earrings and the ring I brought so far were a deal. And I generally never price things at eBay averaging algorithm prices. So this is a gorgeous, this has been in my box from when I first started on eBay in 2000, 2001. Damascene, I'm sure I'm in a mood today. My words will probably come out wrong. Bracelet. Noelle. It is a panel bracelet. So it's got your classic. Is it upside down? Yeah, of course it is. It's got your classic bird and flower. It's got a safety chain. So it's an older piece. I'm thinking this is 1950s. I have no idea. I'm assuming, because mostly they are a, what is the word for meal? Noelle. I know. Well, Sabrina. Hey, Sabrina, honey. Well, Noelle is in at 24. Noelle, I've had this for so long hiding in my box. So if anyone else is interested, they need to come in at 25 or higher. And again, there's nowhere that this is marked that it is, sterling silver. But in general, it has been my experience that this is, in fact, a sterling silver overlay on the metal, and it's really well made. So pretty. Let me give everyone, I'm going to show it again. So Noelle's in at 24. I'm going to give fair warning. I'm trying to account for the lag. There is a safety clasp. Noelle, it's a little small. My hands are not that big. They're not tiny, but they're not that big. It won't go over because of the safety chain. So I would say this is probably a 6.5 size, which is the middle of a lady's small. Maybe even a 6.25. Okay. All right. I don't see anyone else coming in, so I'm going to do a last call and close this back up. And there may be a 925 or a European equivalent of that hiding somewhere. I don't know. And now we're going to say sold to Noelle. 24. Boom. Thank you, Noelle. Noelle, I dug through those boxes. Today, I dug through that box. I promised you I would, and I did. And I found a few pieces for you. Yes, I did. Let me go ahead and put it in a bag. That bag is way too big. Why do I only have giant bags? There you go. Sabrina. How are you, sweetheart? I have been missing you on Saturdays, and I've been sending you good thoughts and prayers and the whole deal. Yeah. So are you home? Are you doing okay? It's a whole thing. I don't expect you to be, recovered or any of that, but I just want to say I care. I'm here for you. I think about you. Yes, a few, Noel. Not tons, but a few. Pretty much my last, to tell you the truth, Noel. So these start at 18. Oh, yay. Well, I'll show you a hint of why I will only be there for a little bit. These are beautiful dyed potato pearl earrings starting at 18. Let me take that runs all across off. There is purples, pinks, creams, whites. They're so pretty. And these have been hiding in my box for quite a while. And I was in a rush as I was pulling them out. Oh, there's a marking because they look like gold to me. Frank, what's going on? I haven't seen you in my sale for a long time. I always enjoy seeing you with Doug, Tanya, Kat, Sabrina. Why is it blanking? God, Steph. I miss you. And we never got a chance to hang out before I moved, which is a dang shame. Well, it looked like it had markings. I was going to say that it was gold for sure, but all I'm seeing is pitting. So therefore, hi, Kathy. Oh, your notification. Well, and I started late today. I had to. So I believe that these wire hooks are gold electroplated. They very much look gold electroplated. But, and again, that's my 85, 90%. And look how pretty. I wish you could see that close up. They are about 1.5 inches long. And each one has a good, and there's green, purple, cream, white, dyed potato pearls. There is about 12 pearls on each one. I think they're gorgeous. I could be wearing these now. Okay, they started at 16, right? I don't write this down. I don't do the whole write out a sheet. Oh, 18. I don't do the whole write out a sheet, and I pick them up. I know what I paid. I know what I want, and I just go from there. So if you change your mind, let me know. And if you come in late, I don't do recaps. So you will need to go back to the beginning, and anything that doesn't have a sold across the screen is available, like these. And a lot of earrings that aren't selling, I'll bring them back a few times, and then I'm going to move them over to somewhere else as well. So this is for those people who love costume jewelry, and I thought this was really appropriate. When I found it, I think I've been hidey-holing this for a long time. And probably because I didn't want to get off of it. It's one of those pieces that is just like, ooh, I love it. You know, I mean, I'm wearing a plastic lucite ring that I got from Kat. I mean, I love plastic. I have a love affair with plastic. So this, oh my Lord. And it has the matching earrings, and it's both Christmas and Halloween colors. And it is, I believe it's West Germany, correct? Yes. There's the hook on it. It says West Germany. All my helpers, Dolly and Molly, my necklace busts are covered in necklaces. So let me take them off for later, because I don't always show all of them anyway, and put this on. It's got a, good Lord, like almost a 4-inch extender. It's glass. Okay, so it starts at 23. Where to go? There you go. Starts at 23. It is dark orange moving into red tone. And that is glass with gold accents, and it is on cord. This is a early West Germany piece. See the color? Beautiful. I love the way that it there's a dip, and then it flows over to the side like that. I like things with movement, right? I'm a big movement person, and each piece is like a panel bracelet. Each piece has individual movement, but it does lay flat. The extension beads in glass graduate to a smaller size, and like I said, it's really long. It is at least 3.5. It's longer than 3, which is your average. And this is Dolly. This is my helper, Dolly. Thank you, Sabrina. I love this piece. Oh, Noelle is in at 23. Well, Noelle, I just thought you said that you couldn't afford to buy things, Noelle. I've never, the reason I've kept this is it's glass, and Noelle. Well, I have to hide some stuff or I'd run out of all my great stuff. And it is, Noelle's in at 23. With the extension, it needs it for us modern people. It is going to take Noelle out, and I'm going to say, fair warning, if you're interested, you have to come in at 24 or higher. It is one of those 15-inch with the extension fully extended. And Noelle and everyone else, I didn't show you, there's a bonus. It comes with the glass clip-on earrings. Yep, hands up. If you know how to craft, if you don't wear clip-on earrings anymore, you could, I'll show you, shirt collars. You could take these off. See how they swoosh? So that means they're directional. They're meant to go like that. And they're about Oh, an inch and a half long. And the color is not right. Boy, I hate that color for me. Ooh, Lordy. Let's see. They're, you'll see. No, they're like red. So the other thing you can do is clip them onto your shirt. Yep. You could, if you wear shirts with collars, you could pop each one at the end of your collar. Like say that's the end of a collar. Okay. So those come with it. Look at that thick, beautiful glass. I wonder, even though it's solid, last call, if it's check glass. Don't know. Clip them in your hair. Yes, you see what I have in my hair? That's all I'm going to say about it. It's actually on my hair tie. Yep. Okay. And that's all I'm going to say. Thank you, Noelle. Sold to Noelle. Let me put them in a better bag. I'll put them in an orange bag, even though they're really more of a kind of light cherry red, but with orange. It's hard to describe. Thank you, Noelle. Thank you. Yes, Noelle has been on me for, I don't know how long, Noelle. Telling me that I promised to bring panel bracelets. So I finally said, okay, let me go find you some panel bracelets, Noelle. Thank you. Okay, this is a starting bid of 18. Uh-oh. Come on. Because I took all these necklaces off of Dolly. They wanted to stay tangled. Now, this does not have a maker. It's 50s, maybe early 60s. It's very beautiful costume jewelry starting at 18. It is gold tone, and it is etched, lined, textured beads. It looks like gold with spacers, but it is not gold. It's beautiful. So it starts at 18. Let me take it off of Dolly. This is the clasp. This is one piece. It is on metal. So it's not 50s because it's on metal. Some pieces were, when they were metal, they were put on a thin metal chain in the 50s. But that kind of started more in the 60s, possibly the 70s. What is that? That's just a piece of flotsam and jetsam. All gone. I've seen a few of these online. Their average price is about $25, $28. It is a push in and out clasp. And this one is about 18 inches. And it's gorgeous. And you know, I think I may have paid about this for this piece. So, but given that eBay algorithm is averaging so well made, I'm really surprised there's not a maker. Given that eBay's algorithm has about 4 of these and the average is 25, I don't want to charge more than 18, but I can't charge less than that, or I would be losing even more money. So, hold on. Let me close it and move on. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I truly, I don't know. I've been having, the last couple of weeks have been really hard with my own grief about my dad. I mean, my mom died 3 years ago. So I've processed a lot of that, but not all of it. I mean, I still have a lot going on with that, but believe me, I still do. But a lot to do with my dad. A lot is going on right now. And I don't know. I got up today and I felt perfectly normal. And then very shortly, I was like, oh, I feel really upset. And I had no idea exactly why. And then I just had to go, oh, it's that grief thing. And just sit in it. Because that's where we're at. That's where I'm at. So this is a buy it now piece. Buy it now of 28. I love this. It is vintage. It's on dolly. This is the back. It's a barrel clasp. It is liquid silver beads. Right? That's what we call them. These are silver, sterling silver. They're just thin, hollow little tube beads. Very popular in the 70s. And then this is very old coral orange. It has not been dyed. Let me remove the buy it now for 28. These white pieces are shell beads, white shell beads. There's 2 on each side. Similar to how Native Americans would make the Heshe beads. That's kind of the idea. And then a piece of abalone in the middle, which, there you go. I got to change my ring light mode again. I don't like that color for me, but I want the colors in the mother of pearl to show up. And let me take it off and show you. So this side of the mother of pearl has a lot of orangey colors. And yes, this side is very orangey. Come on, cooperate. Orange, so you can wear it this side with the orange, or you can, and it's a light orange, this side with the more purples and pinks. And it's a short piece. It's a short piece, but it's a buy it now of 28 from the 70s. It is, if I had this closed, it is sideways a little. It is about 16 inches. Yep. Okay. Thank you for looking. Yes. Now, sorry, I'm trying to close the barrel clasp. It is the one clasp that I have the hardest time closing. Not really sure why, because it used to be the easiest one for me to close. So again, if you're just coming in, I don't do recaps. You can always go to your settings and put the speed on ×2, and breeze through, and anything that doesn't have a sold, you can drop it in the chat and I will happily bring it back up because I don't do recaps. Okay. Let's move to, I showed these yesterday. I'm going to show these two again today. Oh, sorry, my cursor moved out of the thing. Okay. These are starting bid of 39 choice. These are antique cloisonne, which I did a whole deep dive when I purchased them. And then today I happen to have it's from like the 1960s. It's a magazine series of lapidary, all different subjects to do with mines and working jewelry and working mines and all this different stuff. And I kept it because it had a whole thing about natural turquoise versus stabilized turquoise. Come to find out that almost all turquoise has been stabilized, or the pieces have been put together with a resin or an epoxy. Only, that magazine said, only 28% of the pieces this guy tests in this very complicated way back then were pure turquoise. So that was fascinating to me. I was checking out about my dead pawn piece and when they started doing that and all that. And then in that magazine, it had a whole thing about cloisonne jewelry. Now, it was different because it was a modern person here in the United States doing cloisonne with gemstones. So it was totally different than this, Italian, European cloisonne work. This is antique. It's on a very heavy brass or bronze metal. It is actual gold, thin gold wire, not silver, not bronze. The inside is a lime green on this one. And here is the firing hole. There's two of them. Now, the firing holes is because this is a crushed glass enamel that they have to layer over the metal over and over and over again, firing it each time in the kilns. And because it's glass, because it's this enamel, even though you would put it in here with the pink and the white, it would shrink down or it would sink down in a bubble. And the holes were to let the gases escape and have less of that occurring. But you would have to go back and fill this in over and over and over again, as much as 10 times to create this one bracelet. These are very heavy and they are indeed antique. So this is one. And if you had this on and if you heard the high-pitched ting, you would immediately know the difference. I now know for sure the difference between these antiques and the more modern, because by about the 1960s, 1970s, about the 1950s, they figured out a much easier way to manufacture, and they upgraded the enamel they used, and they started using brass wire, not gold. So they didn't have to put the firing holes in anymore. And the metal that they used was just very thin and light, completely different process. Still beautiful, still gorgeous, but totally different. So this cloisonne, when you think of it more like how they make the micro mosaic brooches. Very, very intensive, time-consuming work. So this one is black, which actually was a very common. I don't know if it's because black was a much more common color that people wore for long periods of time during mourning, and just in general, I don't know. Inside it has pink flowers and the gold circles there, or they're not circles, I call them clouds. It is in there, it just doesn't show up very well, but there it is. And this has the pinks and the two different colors of green, almost like a turquoise, green, blue here, dark grass green, and some reds, almost a maroon. And there's virtually no damage on either one of these. This one fits on me the exact same as the other. So it would be your choice, starting at $39. These are, so when were these made? I learned that these with the firing holes were made 1890 to 1910. That's how old these are. That's pretty outstanding. Pretty outstanding. So this is this. I showed them yesterday. I showed them today. I probably won't show them again for a few weeks. But, and then they'll go somewhere. Okay. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to show the other blue cloisonne today. The ones with a little bit of damage. Let's do something like a little bit completely different. A couple completely different pieces right now. And now for something completely different. So this is a buy it now. Yo, I love plastic. I will never not love plastic. And I have a giant box full of plastic bangles. Lucite, acrylic, Bakelite, spacers, wavy, carved, so many. And no one seems to wear plastic bangles anymore, except the younger crowd, the generation that's in their 20s and 30s. All this vintage jewelry and the vintage plastics and stuff are making a huge comeback. So I know that I can sell this on like a whatnot with just straight bangle, starting at a certain thing and bidding it up. But I'd love to sell this to you, my friends. So this is probably, it's got a slag glass swirled plastic. It is, I think this is actually carved, not put in a mold. It is meant to look like jade, but it is plastic. I think it's really cool. So it's like vines and flowers. And it's raised and it's on the side as well. It could have been put in a mold. Carving it would have taken an enormous amount of work. But that doesn't mean that didn't happen. And the mold would have had to have been so complex unless they did, I don't know, some type of like wax casting. I'm not sure. And it is that green right there. It is like an light ivy green, not dark green, with some yellow hues. Buy it now for $12. I believe this was made in the late 50s, early 60s because of the marbleized swirl. And it's so complex. I have a ton of plastic bangles. I don't have anything like this. The only thing that I can think of, it's very lightweight, that this reminds me of is carved cinnabar. But that is a wood. Goes with my shirt. So that was a buy it now for $12. And it fits on me, no problem. I'm a 7.25. It would fit with that much room all the way to a 7.5. I hope someone claims this. I don't want to sell all my bangles to strangers on Whatnot. You guys, I don't want to. Okay. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to. I'm just kicking a temper tantrum up over here. I don't want to. I tell you what, there's a whole lot of things I don't want to do as an adult. How about you? I mean, there's a whole lot. And I have to tell you, there's a whole lot of things I'm not doing. I don't know. My father passed in March. Is that 8 months? 9 months? I don't even know. But I feel like it was yesterday. And the simplest things like picking up the phone to, whatever, is like slogging through the mud. When does it end? I don't know. Okay, this. I love this. But I say that about a lot of things I have. Right? See, Frank, I know. And that's the thing. Sometimes I get like a huge thing of plastic bangles all mixed together. People don't know what they have. They don't know if it's Bakelite. They don't care. Some is just pressed, molded 60s, whatever. But unless I create a following to sell, like some of the stuff I have for $4, I'm like, ugh, I know, Frank, scares me too. But I got to do something. I do have a new YouTube selling concept that I'm working with a partner of mine that, we originally started partnering a year and a half ago. So maybe that'll work. It's just different than what people are used to, but it'll be YouTube prices, but with a kind of Whatnot format. So this is celluloid rhinestones and like an enamel finish on gold tone lilies brooch. It's hard, Frank, and man. So it starts at 24. It's just really hard right now for so many reasons to sell. I mean, everyone's struggling everywhere, but I can't buy for cheap, and I don't want to sell for like pennies because I would be losing money. So these are like a grass green, almost a dark peridot rhinestone prong set. The leaves are yellow and green brushed enamel. Look how complex the stem and the leaves are. And these leaves even have jagged edges. This is the celluloid part. I actually, let me show you the back, and I'm going to tell you what I feel about this piece. I can't believe there's no maker, first off. The pin back only just comes out, which would then date this to, the 60s. However, with the celluloid flowers and the quality of the rhinestones, I feel as though someone filed the pin back down and that this is from the 1930s. I do not think this is from the 60s. I just don't. It's incredible. Again, this would match what I'm wearing. So both of those are celluloid. And there is the slightest little scraping there because there's celluloid up against this metal. They didn't think about that too clearly when they were making it. There is a little bit of dirt in here. I apologize. And there's just the tiniest thing here, which relates to that same issue. But it's not a crack. It's just manufacturing from the back when they put it together. How long is it, y'all might want to know? I know, Frank, but what am I going to do, Frank? It's 3 inches long and 1 and like 2/3 wide at its widest. It's just gorgeous. So think about it, because I don't think I have not researched this in a while. I don't think there's that many pieces of that out there. Yeah, Frank, I'm trying really hard here with my business, and I'm just like holding on. This is like, it'll work. I know it will, because it did before. What happened? What's going on? What's happening, man? That reminds me, all of a sudden, I have a very odd brain. I do have, the spectrum running through my family in little bits and pieces here and there. And the weirdest things correlate. So all of a sudden, when I was like, what's going on? What's happening? My brain tagged into Jesus Christ Superstar. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. Everything in my brain that I say relates to music. I don't know. I don't get it. But there you are. I just have fun singing it. I'm just like, what? So this starts at 29. I've done that my whole life, my entire life. Every single thing, every single like moment or hour, day, big event, small event, relates to music somehow or another. So this is, I want to read the back. The back says, you would think it would say 925, but because of where it comes from, I think it says something different. Hold on. No, so it's STG SIL. STG silver. I went through this before. It's essentially Mexican silver, but I'm pretty sure that says STG. It might say 970 SIL. It's hard to tell. I'll let y'all see it. And that's upside down. It is silver. It is sterling silver. It's just really hard to make out what that means. And I did look it up before. I just, it's not pinging in my brain. It is from the 50s. It is beautiful. It's very thick on the silver. And look at the gorgeous abalone colors. I mean, it's like electric peacock blues. And it's a very thick carved piece. This has been carved into like a leaf. you can feel it when you touch it. It's indented in between each one of these. It's so pretty. This is a nice piece. Yeah, I love this, Frank. I love it. I love it. The color is, it's very thick silver, and then that color and of the abalone is something else. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. See, there goes my exactly what I said. Yeah. It is just about 2 inches. Just about 2 inches. And I think if you look up STG, it's like Italy. This is not Texaco. I think it's Italy. Yeah, look. Jinx Noel, you owe me a panel bracelet. There you go. Minimum of 925 silver. There you go. Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. Wow. That is fascinating. Noelle, thank you. So, I mean, with that abalone, Australia or New Zealand? Wow. And to be vintage, that's really cool. I did a Google image search of this trying to find it. I couldn't find any of these. That was a couple months ago, but wow. Noelle. That's very cool. That is very cool. Okay. He's going away. Yeah, see, I don't know. What do I do? I mean, the economy we're in is like, but do I'm on Thursdays and Fridays. Do I need to come on every single day of the week? Is that amount of hours worth like how much more I'm going to earn? I don't know. And I'm not sure that it would be. I could try it. Thank you, Google. There you go. Thank you, Google. Okay. This is a piece of mine that I got at a thrift store in the 80s. And I'm thinking it's from the 60s. And I wore this all over the place for a couple decades. But it's time to pass it on to someone else. I have so much jewelry. And now that I'm back to just selling just jewelry, whoosh. So it is on Dolly, my helper. I haven't shown anything on Molly yet. I need to get that together. I decided to call her Molly because I had all these M names and I always forgot what the heck it was. So I gave up Marlene, Madeline, I gave up. So it could be 70s. It could be. And that wouldn't be outrageous. It's on super thick black metal chain. And then it has these cut rock crystal, although they're kind of faded, but they are glass square beads. And then it comes down to another 2. And then it goes down to this piece. Now, this swirled piece is plastic. And I don't care because I love plastic. And then 3 black chain with these pieces of rock crystal and little black seed beads. It is long. It is awesome. Starting bid of 18. I literally, well, I was into punk rock in the from 76 until the 90s when my daughter was, starting to get just a little bit older. And even then, I was still into grunge, but I wasn't going to shows anymore or anything. But this black, long, hanging piece worked really well as a simplistic, fun hanging necklace. And just because I wore it, starts at 18 for, in my black dressed days, does not mean that that's all it's good for. Look at it. It comes all the way down to right at the end of all of that. So it is about, probably 32 inches long, maybe 34. And 18, it's heavy. It's really nice. And they make that clack clack, which is what I like. It's kind of like flapper-esque, right? But on black chain, and it makes that clank, clank, clank every time these move. So I love that. Movement, again, I like things with movement. Very thick black chain. Starting bid of 18. So I brought that out also because it's another kind of Halloween color, right? So here I am talking about punk rock. Y'all could wear this when you go out on Halloween evening. It's black. Okay. Did I lose everybody? Everyone went away. Where'd everyone go? Hello? I guess people came in and I didn't have cheap enough deals. I think my stuff is pretty cheap, but hey, who the heck am I? Oh, I don't know what my dog is barking at. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know. He's only 12 and a half. And he's very well trained. He went to puppy class also. But just the last month, he started to bark at imagined sounds outside. I live in the middle. There's no sounds unless, an animal was right at the window, or a tree fell down, or a helicopter flew overhead to medevac someone. So I don't know. I think he has like some dementia. Makes me pretty bummed out. So I'm sorry he's barking, but there's nothing I can do. Okay, this is a starting bid of $20. And to some of you, that is going to seem like a whole lot. However, I've had this piece since the 80s, and I bought this from a vendor at a flea market, one of the ones I used to sell at with my mom in the 70s. It is on cord. These are very old. You can't find them as nice as this anymore. This is a very old, very long trade bead necklace. Most likely from Africa. I used to just wear this. I wore this as a necklace. I still would. Like I said, so Frank, I'm telling you, we got Bigfoot up here for sure. We got lots of things. Oh my God. I got every night, my loft, my sleeping area is above me. And an hour or so after it gets dark, or sometimes right at dusk, you hear, and it's the owls and other night birds landing on the roof to survey the valley and catch things unawares. I'm telling you, they do that all night long. And then skunks and things brush up against the building. I mean, there's noise. You hear, the other night something was screaming outside, probably a bobcat or a mountain lion. I mean, screaming. It was crazy. So I want to take this off of Dolly now and show you all why I'm asking $20 for this. Skinwalkers, yeah. When I'm here alone, which is most of the time, I lock the door when it's dark, which I never ever used to. But even though I live in the middle of nowhere and there is no crime really in this valley, I always think, what about if that whatever, the bear gets the door open, or So look at these different trade beads. That's what I want you to see. Even if you don't buy it, this is such a beautiful thing. The striped ones, all different colors and sizes. The teeny tiny seed beads. Look at that brown and blue oval one down there. I just want to take a moment to appreciate this. If you tried to buy this today with these trade beads, this size, this many, different varieties, it would be a heck of a lot more than I'm asking. Thank you, Frank. It is. Frank, you and I have talked about laces, right? Yeah. Hoo, hoo, hoo. I get a lot of hoo, hoo, hooing. I have barn owls and both types of horned owls and a screech owl. And when they get going. But it's such a beautiful thing to fall asleep to, right? So I just really wanted you all to see the beauty of this. And I will move on, but I mean, this one was strung on here, broken. That is not something that happened. There isn't room that's missing. It just, that's what happened. But look how long it is. And there's 2 strands. Yeah, it makes me want to put it back in my drawer. I'm going to put it over here and think about it. Okay. Let's do something entirely different. So, Frank, do you enjoy the owl sounds? Because I do. I love it. I mean, it's not annoying. It's just this beautiful, almost meditative, whoo, 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 to fall asleep to. So I enjoy it. And I enjoy it a heck of a lot better than a screaming mountain lion, a pack of coyotes, chattering away, or what sounds like a big, heavy feet of bear. Yep. A heck of a lot better. Okay, I have 2 of these I dug out of my box. And, yep. And I just want to see what I'm doing before I put the price in. I haven't looked at these 25 years. This one is starting at $33. And I was heavy on Renoir and Matisse, along with plastics in Japan and West Germany, necklaces and necklace and bracelet sets when I was selling on eBay. And this is a 1950s made in the style of Matisse. It has the green patina going on. That is natural. You could take Brasso, or something that cleans copper. I'm not sure if Brasso is the right thing because I never clean it. And remove that if you want. But that's just a sign that it's, 90 years old. Wait a minute. 50, 20, 70. My God. So aging myself. 70 years old. It has the 2 leaves. It has this circle and then this second circle to really give it that punch. It does have, this is a thing. Let me see if it will help. Hold on. Copper. This is just 100% copper. It's not a copper overlay, but sometimes copper gets this kind of, it looks like pitting, but it's not pitting. And this one has some of it on this side. I don't know what that is. And because I don't clean anything, because I like the fact that it's vintage, I love this straight edge. I could make a joke out of that. I've never cared anything about it, but I'm just pointing it out. And the black is an intentional thing that they do in manufacturing to make everything pop. It's a chemical reaction thing. Let me take my bracelet off. This was a gift for my birthday to me. I'm not going to tell you when I turned what age. So here it is on. Whenever I show bracelets like this, I feel like I should be like Wonder Woman or Power Ranger. It fits on me quite well. It's actually a little loose. So clearly I could clamp it down more, or I could leave it like this. And with vintage and antique bracelets, you don't want to bend them constantly. So I'm not going to do anything to this whatsoever. But based on how it fits me, I would say it's could fit a 7.25, but it would be real comfortable on a 7.5 to a 7.75. And this is really nicely made. So that's one of the choices. I didn't say that this was a choice. So now I'm going to say this is choice 2 copper, just so that anyone who watches on a replay is clear what the heck I'm doing. Okay, so the other choice is this one. Inside it says genuine copper. That started in the 70s. Late 60s, early 70s, where they would put genuine copper. It was common in department stores because copper was really popular. And it was also, look at this swirl of this big piece. I love this. Look at that. And also in so-called trading post tourist stores as you went down like Route 66, etc. So they put this on with a solder, and this kind of like a screw, but it's not a screw because it's a hole. And then you can see the hole inside. It was a way in which they soldered and anchored it on. And they left it open. Again, maybe something to do with firing, like we talked about with the cloisonné. And this is plastic. That is not turquoise. If it was turquoise, I'd be asking a lot more. Copper is really hot right now. And this one fits me perfectly. So therefore, right now it's sitting at a 7.25. I would want to squish that down a little tighter. Beautiful. I find copper very sexy. That's just me. Okay, these have been in a box for 25 years. I'll get the right copper person here at some point. But for now, they're going right back in their box. I have a sale Sunday morning at 10 in the morning, which for me is like, wow. I eat breakfast at noon. My body, I wake up, it takes, because of my fibromyalgia, it takes a long time for me to feel like, oh, I can move. And I move around. I do dishes, I do this, I do that, but I don't do anything like big until after my 12 o'clock brunch breakfast. So I'm on at 10 a.m. with Becky's Vintage and More, who also always sells with Randy Mooncraft. Now, Becky's Vintage and More, we've been partners on and off for quite a while. Please go subscribe to her channel. And I don't have the link for the sale. She hasn't sent it to me yet, or I would drop it. But I don't have it. So I can't do it. This is a starting bid of 20. This is a panel bracelet. Noelle, you cracked me up. It is also one of those collectible costume jewelry listener pieces. It has all the articulated movement that I love. It is a gold tone brushed and etched with almost it's almost silver in color. These pieces here in between is almost silver, so it's lighter, and they come down to a smaller leaf. Do you see that? So really, and that's a bigger leaf. See these edges serrated? Yeah, it's really cool. 1950s, maybe early 60s, but this clasp right here is usually a 1950s hallmark. It's just a smidge too tight for me. So I would say it would fit a size 7 comfortably. It's pretty. Okay. Starting bid of 20. So, hour and a half, 6 o'clock. I am going to go on for about no more plastic bags. I wish people wouldn't send stuff in plastic bags. I go ahead and buy the organza bags. Organza. You say potato, I say potato. I go ahead and buy them in bulk and then keep everything in different things in these bags. And then when people send me items in these bags, I reuse them. So, but I don't want to be reusing plastic. We need to get, now, here I am saying all this. We need to get plastic out of our environment. But I love plastic bracelets. But, oh, I just wiggled my way out of it. I'm recycling, reusing. I'm not putting the plastic bracelets in the landfill. So there. So, but the plastic bags, I have a giant bunch of them. And I don't send my customers stuff in plastic bags. So I'm like, what do I do with them? I don't want to throw them out. I mean, I rewash my gallon Ziplocs. I wash them out with soap and water and reuse them over and over and over until it's such a time that they fall apart. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm overboard. I don't know. But I don't want stuff in plastic bags, okay, people? Okay, because I'm only going for another 20 minutes, is there something in particular that somebody wants to see? Please let me know. And please, if you're just coming in, I don't do recaps. So if you want to go to the beginning and through it and see if there's an item that didn't sell that you're interested in, put it in the chat. More panel bracelets. Well, I don't know. I've got one more. I don't think I have a lot more. I have to go into the Bay Area at the end of the month, Noelle. These are heck of cool. These were in my box. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how have these been sitting in my box all this time? What? RLL. Ralph Lauren. Early Ralph Lauren. Tortoiseshell. Plastic. Most likely early 70s. I saw one person had these. I couldn't believe it. They had these as being gold caps, 14 karat gold. And I'm like, no, they're not. It's possible that they are some type of sterling silver overlay. But even that is a stretch. But they are by Ralph Lauren, which makes them extremely collectible to a select group of people out there. They're awesome hoops. I love the tortoiseshell look. And I love the square endings. I think that was really smart. Let's see how big they are. About like that. It's always hard to see when we go back on me. So let's see what that is. That is 1 1/4 inches long. The hoops, 1 1/4 inches long, and 1 inch wide in the circle. 1 inch. So they're really nice, and they're very lightweight, and I know that they're older Ralph Lauren because of this metal. The way that it's done is early. It's not 80s, 90s when they, started putting the designer. So have any of you watched the documentary about, was it Ralph Lauren, or it was maybe him or someone else, where he started out as a clothes designer, and then his name blew up so big that they marketed him out to furniture, clothing, jewelry, dishware, you name it, put the name on. And then they started dragging the brand down into JCPenney's and lower and lower. And eventually, by being so greedy and doing that, and he was never happy with it, might have been Halston, killed his whole business. Yeah, because it cheapened it. That's the thing. It's a really good, it's a movie more than a documentary. It's actually done in movie form, and it's really good. I highly recommend it. How about these? This is a starting bid of $10 choice. I haven't shown these in quite a while. I found them stashed away in another box. These are from the 60s. These are the really nice 1960s into the 70s. Let me get it. You pull that open, you pull that off. This is a keychain, and I have a bunch of them. These used to hang on, a cardboard display at a key shop, and these are new old stock at a key shop, at a gas station, and they have the rondelle at the bottom, the little gold tone pot metal, and then this shiny AB cut different colors of plastic on snake chain or rope chain. They're about 4 inches long. These are solid, heavy duty. They're not going anyway. It's $10 starting bid. Oh, I meant to say buy it now. So whatever. You can just put in if you're interested in a color. So there's the peach with a luster, and it's a dark peach. Let me see if I can make that. So you go dark. And this is almost like it's got purple, but it's kind of dirty brownish. This is white with pink going through it, like a ball, but carved. And I do believe these all glow. If anyone's really interested, I could hit it with that. And they're new old stock. This one. And these are so hard to open still, and so your keys are not going anywhere. You love vintage? Look at the pink one. It's got that pineapple kind of cut. No wear, no nothing. New old stock. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 altogether. I love these new old stock. I remember stuff like this sitting at the cashier in the gas stations. Yeah. So those are $10. Buy it now. Shouldn't have been starting bid. It should have been $10. Buy it now. New old stock from the 60s. Keychains. Heck yeah. I remember having keys on stuff like this. And because this is so solid and clamps together so well, you could put it hanging off of your purse or your backpack, Okay. Noelle, I have one. This, Noelle. I have this, Noelle. Then I'll show a couple necklaces, and then I'll be done. I'm pretty sure this is it until I can start re-upping. And I've been searching around several of my resources. I have a lot of different places I buy from to see if I could, find them while I'm just up here at the homestead for you. But I have not. Yes, right on, Kathy. I love that. So this is a starting bid of 18. You see my I'm just going to my my little town. It's only an hour, but so this is a early coral panel bracelet, Noel. It is kind of like a tree, see? Or you could call it vines, like a grapevine. And here is the typical 1950s. See, there you go. Fold over clasp. And here is the, yeah, it's a very much an older coral because it has the, I think it's a flying horse. So it's early. See that? It's hard to see it. But it's, I think it's a flying horse, not a Pegasus, but something else. And unusually, bamboo, there you go, Kathy. Unusually for coral, the inside of this piece is having metal flaking off. That is extremely unusual for coral and the quality. And that is why I started it at 18. Otherwise, I would have started it much higher. And it is like a silver gold. Yeah, so I'm just going to my little, it's only an hour long. You know, I live in a valley with a total, supposedly, of 5,000 people spread out all in the hills. You know, I hardly ever see more than a couple dozen people in any one spot around here. So it fits me, 7.25. And it is about 2 inches wide. Yeah, bamboo. And then I should have done it today. I actually didn't realize I should have done it yesterday. So I'm 2 days behind already. It'll be 3 days when I go in tomorrow. I have to go pick up meds in the big city that I live near. So if I go to my little local protest and then dip over, I can go take care of that and go to Costco. And there's also anyone here know the Anderson Valley Brewing Company? It's a beer. It was one of the first that really started pumping out the IPAs in more mass production. That's a local brewery here. And it's it's the fire department's, volunteer fire department's 70th anniversary. So they are having free meals and music at the brewery after. So I'm going to try to pop in there and say hi to people for a few minutes and then go over the hill. Yep. That's my plan. Everyone knows about my life now. What's your life about? Okay. Yeah. Well, Kathy, I haven't looked it up, but I was kind of wondering, and I probably will look it up tonight when I go up and get in bed. The one here is just 12-1. So, but, generally speaking, they're going on, all day, right? So I'm thinking maybe I go over the hill and it'll still be going on over there. And so I can also participate there, right? I could not go down to the city. It just because I have to get, meds and whatever. I couldn't go. And I was really like, wow, I would love to be in the Bay Area right now. But I also would not love to be. This is the most I've ever talked about politics on my channel. And for anyone that's offended, I'm sorry. but it has to be said. I don't mean to offend you. We all have free speech. But I'm a little paranoid about being in the big crowds because I don't trust anything that's going on right now. Okay, so this is a cherry red carved Bakelite buckle. $17 is back 10, 15 years ago when I started collecting Bakelite. A little buckle like this they would have been asking $40 at least for this. Even $17 for a carved cherry red belt buckle of Bakelite is, it's inexpensive. It's not like crazy inexpensive, but it's inexpensive. I could probably ask almost double that. There is a place where you can, here, the edges. See the edges? That's how you can really tell that it is carved with just a little, it's raw on the edges. So, and you could put a scarf through this as well, but it is Bakelite. Starting at 17. And it is there you go, Kathy. Yeah, I don't even have any of that. I just I don't have the wherewithal to deal with that. It's almost 3 inches long, and it is almost 2 inches wide. But I will show up, and I will be there, and that's what's important. And I don't want to offend. I don't want to offend people who feel very differently about the political situation right now. This is why I usually don't talk about this, because I feel like it should stay out of the vintage world. It's not, it just doesn't have a place. I believe that everyone has a choice to align with who they want to align with what religion or no religion they want to align with, what gender or sexuality they feel that they align with. I believe in freedom of choice. And if you wanted to boil me down, I am a constitutionalist. Okay? So I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a liberal. I'm not woke. I'm a constitutionalist. And the issue for me right now, and then I'm going to shut up and never talk about this again. The issue for me right now is that our Constitution is being trampled on by everyone in our government. And I can't stand for that. So there you go. That's all I'm going to say. And again, I will apologize because I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends in the vintage world have very different feelings than I do. And that doesn't make them not my friend. Not at all. Not at all. Okay, this is the last item I'm going to show tonight, everyone. And I don't have any more panel bracelets. No, well, I tried. I pulled out every single one I had. I am looking at multiple sources, and I will be specifically looking for that in the last week of the month when I go down. I promise. Oh my goodness. Whoa. I was about to put this up for like $2,225. That would have been hilarious. Definitely not worth that. Yeah, that's just hilarious. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous, clear rhinestones, orange, like almost a butterscotch, smaller rhinestones, little leaves raised up in relief, all gold color, and then this giant, I have to assume that this is a huge yellow orange piece of cut glass. Because if this was a piece of citrine with how heavy it is and how huge this piece of glass is, it would be worth thousands of dollars. Here is the puddling. Size, Noelle wants to know. The size, it's big. Hold on, I'll tell you in a minute. It is really fantastic gold puddling, but it does have the smaller pin back. So let me look at it. I mean, it is in right after the swedge style. It is that right after the swedge style, right? Maybe it was filed down a little bit. I'm thinking 1960s. Noelle wants to know the size, and it's heavy. The puddling is not as good as on like some of the check glass pieces, but it's not bad either. And you can see, I don't know why this isn't signed. Definitely 1960s. And yeah, if it was citrine, this is such a huge, it's like yellow. It's like, again, that yellow peridot color. It is 2 2/3 inches long by 2 inches wide. And then this stone makes it sit up from the brooch half an inch. It's absolutely beautiful. And I don't see any scratching on the glass or anything like that. Again, there's the back. And it is gold. For some reason, it's not showing up as gold. It looks silver, but the puddling is gold. Why does it look silver? No ideas. Okay, Noelle is in at 24, and this is my last item. I don't think anyone wanted to go back and look and drop anything in the chat, and that's okay. Fair warning, you'd have to come in at 25 or higher. It's my last item of the night. Thank you, Noelle. Last call. It's going to be sold to Noelle, and I will be on Sunday at 10 in the morning on Becky's Vintage and More. Whoa. With her partner Randy's Mooncrafts. And then next week, sold to Noelle. Thank you, Noelle. Thank you. Next week, I will be on Thursday and Friday. And the last week of the month, on Tuesday, I will be on with Friends Selling with Friends at, I think it's 5:30 Eastern, And then just Friday, Halloween, a small sale. And like I said, I'll post about invoicing for this 2-week Build-A-Box, because right after I'm done the 23rd, 24th, I'm then packing and running down to the city. So things are going to get a little weird. So if anyone needs this, like Noelle, if you want your stuff before, you don't want to get caught up in all that lag, right? Because you like to keep your stuff tidy, email me so that I invoice you Friday night. Okay, honey? All right. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you showing up. And please be safe tomorrow. If you are going to the protest, do not be violent. Move away from violence. Please be aware that your profile will be taken in the crowd. Please turn your phone off the biometrics. Any police, military, FBI can hold the phone to your face and make you open your phone, and they will skim all of your data. That is not me being paranoid. That is a fact. That is what they are doing. They've been doing it at all the tiny little protests with the frogs dancing and stuff. Please be aware of your surroundings. Don't be an agitator. Have fun and just speak up for yourself if that's what you want to do. Okay? All right. I just don't want any of you to get hurt. Good night.